Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about the Bitcoin price and I'll be revealing my exact Bitcoin price targets for Bitcoin in the near future. So if you want to make money in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency, then make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. And also later in the video, I'll be doing some Ethereum technical analysis that reveals my exact price targets for Ethereum. So if you hold any Bitcoin or Ethereum at the moment, or if you're thinking about getting into Bitcoin or Ethereum, then definitely make sure to watch this video all the way to the end so you don't miss any of this valuable information. A lot of you subscribers have been commenting on my recent videos saying that you've made a lot of money from watching my videos, and I just gotta say thank you so much for all of the support that you guys are giving the channel at the moment, and I'm glad that these videos can help you make money. But yeah, if all of that sounds good to you, then make sure you leave a like on the video down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications and select all so you don't miss any of my future videos. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so if you could just spend a couple of seconds out of your day to click like and subscribe, that means a lot to me and it helps out the channel a lot. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart, we're on the 2-hour chart, and Bitcoin has recently had a massive breakout, as you can see on the chart. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see here that Bitcoin has been in this small downtrend over the past month pretty much. Now in my last video, I did draw this line of resistance like this, and I did say that this was the breakout just here. And that's definitely correct if you draw the trend line like that, because as you can see, Bitcoin did see a massive breakout and it came back down and it got these two retests of support and continued to head higher. But what I've seen since my last video was that Bitcoin was actually still underneath this level of resistance if you draw the level of resistance like this. As you can see, this started from the all-time high. Once again, this started at around $42,000, which is the all-time high. And then we got a rejection from this line right here. That last massive pump that we had, the Elon Musk pump, was actually another rejection along this line if you draw it like that. And as you can see in just the recent price action that's happened over the past day or two, Bitcoin has broken above that line and come back to retest that line, and it has gotten a successful retest of that line and continued to head higher. So Bitcoin's being really bullish at the moment. It's making some good progress, and this white downwards trend line that I've drawn out on the chart isn't the only resistance that we've broken above. As you can see on the chart, I've mapped out this red horizontal resistance line, and I spoke about this in my last video, so make sure you check out that if you haven't already. But yeah, this line comes in at around $38,500 US, and as you can see, that was the point of resistance that the price rejected at back here. And we also did see a small rejection right here, as you can see, and then obviously since then we came back to retest this previous resistance, now support. And then on the second attempt of this line, we have now broken above this line of resistance, and we're yet to see a retest of this support. So in the near future, I'll be keeping a close eye on the $38,500 level for support for Bitcoin. It is really important for Bitcoin to hold the $38,500 level in order for Bitcoin to remain bullish. So while we are seeing some really bullish progress right now in the short term, there's also one small bearish sign that I am seeing. And just mapping that out on the chart just here, as you can see, we are forming a small bearish divergence on the 2-hour chart. So obviously Bitcoin just in the short term on the 2-hour chart, once again, we did see a high and a higher high in the price, and in the RSI we saw a high and a lower high, which is a bearish divergence. Now what this bearish divergence means is in the short term, the price action will stop heading up and will start heading more sideways, if not to the downside, before we begin heading up once again. So basically what these small bearish divergences mean is the bulls are running out of momentum in the short term. So we're basically set to have a breather for the next few hours, maybe the next day or so. We're most likely just going to head sideways, or perhaps even come back down to retest this $38,500 level. Once again, we've got to hold that level as support for us to remain bullish. If we fail to hold that level, then I'll be targeting this previous level of resistance, which is now support, and that level's coming in at around $36,300 US. So that's if the bearish scenario played out and if we broke below the $38,500 level. But honestly, what's most likely is for the next day or so, we're most likely just going to head kind of sideways before our next leg up. out, because once again, we have seen a traditional correction for the Bitcoin price during a bull market. Over the past 1 month, we've been in a correction and we've corrected about 31% from the all-time high to the bottom. And if you don't already know, that's actually the average correction for Bitcoin during a bull market. So I strongly think that Bitcoin has bottomed out on this correction. In fact, I called this bottom right as it happened on my channel. You can actually find that video on my channel if you want. I was the first person on YouTube to call this bottom, and all of my subscribers that have been watching my videos all the way through have been making a lot of money just from watching my videos. And now as for upside targets, we have officially broken out of this downtrend. So where to next? Where's our next points of resistance that we have to watch out for? And well, the next pretty obvious point of resistance coming in for Bitcoin is right here, and that's coming in at around the $40,000 level. As you can see here on the charts, the Bitcoin price got a big rejection at the $40,000 level back here, and this level also provided some support for Bitcoin all the way back here and a small bit of resistance back here. So this level is a pretty important level for Bitcoin. So as of recording this video, Bitcoin's coming in at just above $39,000. So obviously we're really close to this $40,000 level. And in fact, right now we're kind of squeezed between $40,000 and $38,500, and that's our support and resistance. So really the next few moments, the next day or so is really important for Bitcoin, because that will be deciding the trend for Bitcoin over the next few weeks. So seriously, make sure you're paying attention to those price levels. And as for upside targets, if Bitcoin does break above 40,000 US dollars, then the next level that I will be targeting will be the all-time high coming in at around 42,000 US dollars. So the 42,000 US dollar level will be our next point of resistance. And if we break above that level, then honestly, I'll be targeting the mid $40,000 range up towards the 50,000 US dollar range before we could possibly see our next cool off. So yeah, once again, I'm incredibly bullish on Bitcoin at the moment. Any short-term correction that we have like this, that's just retesting support, I would honestly be using that as a buying opportunity, because over this next year, Bitcoin's going to do incredibly well as we are in a Bitcoin bull market. All right, now here we are on the Ethereum US dollar chart. We're on the 2-hour chart, and I was previously really bullish on Ethereum, but right now I'm not as bullish as I was. Obviously, long-term over this whole year, I'm really bullish on Ethereum, but I'm talking just short-term. Ethereum could definitely come down to retest some lower levels, and in fact, that would be very healthy for Ethereum if that happens. And I'll show you exactly why I think that could be the case. Obviously, Ethereum's already seen this massive breakout, as I mentioned in my last video, and that's pretty much just played out on the chart. As you can see here, we've come up to these levels here, and we're beginning to head sideways now. And if you just look here on the 2-hour charts, once again, this is only the short term, so don't think we're going to see a massive crash or anything. But just here, Ethereum is indeed forming the same bearish divergence as Bitcoin is also forming. As you can see, obviously in Ethereum, we had a high and a higher high in the price, and then in the RSI, we had a high and a lower high. And once again, that's just a bearish divergence, and that tells us that the price will most likely either head sideways or perhaps head back down for a little bit in the short term before we begin to head higher into the longer term. And what's interesting is right now, this price action looks very similar to some previous price action that I'm about to show you right now. So as you can see, Ethereum had this big run up and got a high, and then came back down and kind of scooped up to get to a new higher high, and it's starting to come back down again. And if you just take a mental image of that price action right there, and now if I zoom out on the chart, you can see a very similar thing happened back here. Ethereum saw a massive breakout back here, and we reached a high just up here, as you can see, and then we kind of came back down, scooped up, and then came back to a higher high, as you can see here, and then we begin to head down a little bit, and as you can see, you saw what happened next. So back here, we did see this high, and then this higher high, and then we began heading back down, and we saw this correction for Ethereum. But once again, that was only a short-term correction. Ethereum then began to head higher and higher into new all-time highs not long after. So if that does happen for Ethereum, then what would I be targeting? Where would Ethereum get supported? And well, I'll tell you all of that right now. Now, some obvious levels of support for Ethereum would be coming in at around this level right here, and this level is the 1,570 US dollar level. And as you can see in the super short term, we did see a small small rejection at this level here before we broke above it. And then we came back down to retest this level and then got a successful bounce off this level, confirming it as support. And then we obviously made a new all-time high for Ethereum. So obviously, if we've already confirmed this level as support once, then we should expect Ethereum to get supported again at this level. So once again, this level's coming in at 1570. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that level for Ethereum. But if Ethereum does play out in the bearish scenario and break that level, then my next level I'll be targeting would obviously be the top of this previous ascending triangle, which was also the previous all-time high for Ethereum. As you can see, we saw some massive rejections along this level in the past. And since we've broke above that level, as you can see here, this level will now be some support for Ethereum. And this level right here is coming in at around 1,450 US dollars. So if Ethereum does break this red line, as you can see here, then that would be my next target for Ethereum if the bearish scenario does play out. But once again, I'll be using this as a buying opportunity, because even though we can see these short-term corrections for Ethereum and Bitcoin and other cryptos, the long-term trend is the fact that we're still obviously in a bull market, and these short-term corrections are just buying opportunities to hold for the long term. So right now, I'm not selling any Bitcoin or Ethereum. I'm not opening any shorts. Once again, I would just be looking to buy some more if the price does end up going down. And as for the bullish scenario, honestly, Ethereum would most likely just be heading sideways for a little bit in the short term before we head up. In the super short term, I honestly don't see Ethereum just spiking straight up like this. Like this could happen, you know, next week or in a few weeks from now, but I'm talking like short term in the next day, 2 days. I don't really see Ethereum just shooting up like that. Now that can happen, but in my opinion, it's just not very likely from what I'm seeing on the chart. The most likely scenario for Ethereum is either just sideways price action, or perhaps Ethereum just comes back down to retest these levels as support. But yeah, anyway, if you've watched all the way through to this video up until this point, first of all, thank you so much. And second of all, you must have enjoyed the video or got something out of it. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then please make sure to just leave a like on the video down below. It seriously helps out the channel a lot, and it just takes a couple of seconds to leave a like. And once again, if you're new to the channel, then please make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my future videos. All of your support means a lot to me, and I see each and every one of you, and yeah, I just really appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions for me, then let me know in a comment down below. On these videos, while the channel's still obviously quite small, I read and reply to every single comment on these videos. So yeah, if you have something to say, then just don't be afraid to comment it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, that's just about everything for this video. I really hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next video.